And you get her
back this way. I will turn around. I want to start by saying thank you to Peggy for making this possible. Ellen, you know, just a reminder, women know how to get things done. So I want to start this today. I thought maybe what we do is I want to tell you just a little bit about myself for those of you I haven't had a chance to meet yet. A little bit about why I'm in this race, and then we'll do questions and answers so that I know I'm talking about the things that are most important to you. I come from a family that grew up kind of on the ragged edge of the middle class, as I've described it. My father sold fencing. He sold carpeting. He ended up as a maintenance man.
Can we use the mic a little better?
A little better?
Real close.
Good. A little closer. Is that better?
Tip it up.
Even closer.
Even closer.
Yeah, tip it
A
up.
little
Okay.
more.
A little more.
Got it.
I got it? Are we there? Can you hear me? Is that good? Okay. Are we close? All right. So I was saying my father sold fencing. He sold carpeting. He ended up as a maintenance man. My mother, after my father had a heart attack and we lost our car and were about to lose our house, went to work at Sears answering telephones. All three of my brothers worked hard. They all were in the military. My oldest brother, 288 combat missions in Vietnam. A family that was part of it. He was career. My second brother worked construction all his life. My third brother started a small business. I started working at a young age, like everyone else in my family. I was 9 years old when I got my first job. I was blessed. There was a family across the street that had a colicky baby. And for 35 cents an hour, I would rock that baby. That's right, I had a sock full of money and loved it. I started waiting tables at 13. I got married at 19. I had my, I graduated from a public university and I went to school. Let's hear it for And I started my grown-up life as a school teacher. Teaching special needs. I had my first baby when I was 22, and when I was 24, I did something I literally didn't know anyone who'd ever done it. I went to law school, a public law school, and I graduated from law school 9 months pregnant, which did not make me very marketable. One look from those big law firms and it was no thank you, sweetie. But, you know, you do what you can. I took the bar. I literally had a shingle made, hung it out in front, and practiced law out of my living room. But before too long, I went back to my first love, which is teaching. So I teach in law school and do work around middle-class families, working families, the economics of the family. And I've taught at 5 different law schools. And nearly 20 years ago, I got an offer to come here. And it was a wonderful offer, partly because my husband and his family is from Massachusetts. And so it meant we could be closer to family. And also because it was a great offer at Harvard Law School. And the way I saw this is maintenance man's daughter to fancy pants professor at Harvard Law School. America is a great country. But you know, I really do see it that way, that America is a great country, because when I was growing up, America invested in kids like me. When you come out of the Great Depression, if you look at what happened, America did 2 remarkable things coming out of the Great Depression. The first was we put a set of sensible financial rules in place so that we would not play the boom bust, boom bust, boom bust that we had had since literally the end of the 1700s until the 1930s. So we got Glass-Steagall, we got FDIC insurance, we got an SEC that was pretty strong. That leveled things out, but the second thing we did was even more remarkable. we put in place the right conditions to build America's middle class, to strengthen it, to make it a place of real opportunity. And just think about that. More than half a century we spent on building public education, from primary school through graduate school. We kept putting money into public universities so that people could get an education. We invested in ourselves. We had a GI Bill. We had student loans. This is going to shock some of the younger people in the audience, so just take a deep breath on this one. I had student loans that they would forgive 15% a year of your principal if you would just go into certain professions, math, science, teaching, because those were things that were important to us, and we saw it as investing more in our future. We built roads and bridges, the interstate highway system. We built mass transit so people could get to work and get to decent jobs. We built energy plants so that we had plenty of energy. We built the conditions so that somebody who came along with a great idea, somebody who wanted to work hard, could build a business that would flourish, and we all could get richer. And that's exactly what happened. When you look at the numbers, what happens coming out of the Great Depression is year over year over year. America as a country gets richer, and here's the best part. The middle family in America, the median family, got richer year after year after year. We invested in ourselves, and we all did better as a group. What we came to believe was the middle class was strong, that those who worked hard and played by the rules would have a chance to get ahead, and most importantly of all, we believed that our children, that the next generation would do better than we did. That's what marked America's middle class. That's the middle class I grew up in, that gave me a shot at going from where I started to where I ended up. But about a generation ago, we lost our way on that. We turned in a very different direction. Instead of embracing our future, we took on the notion of, I got mine, you're on your own.
Yeah.
It's all about protecting me and mine. And we stopped investing. We now live in a world in which some of the largest corporations and most profitable corporations in this country pay nothing in taxes, while we say to young people, you have to take on more debt to try to get an education. We say to seniors, you may just have to learn to live on less. Well, I'll tell you, I think that is wrong. I think it is deeply wrong. This is not an economic issue. This is not a finance issue. This is an issue about values.
Yes. Right.
What it is that we value as Americans. So here's how I see this. We're coming upon a great election, meaning powerful, important election. And this election, we have a real choice. We can say the way we see going forward is that it's most important to protect those who've already made it. It's most important to be able to build a fence to say, I'm taking care of myself, you're on your own. Or we have an alternative. And that is to say, we believe as a people, we believe as a country, that what we're about is investing in our future, in making it possible for the next kid who has a good idea to make it big, and the kid after that, and the kid after that, and the kid after that. That is our choice in this election. I never thought I'd be standing for public office on a stool. Never, never, never. But you know, there comes a time when you see it in front of you, and you know there's an important choice to be made, and you know it's going to be a fight. Let's face it, the Republicans are not going to give this seat up easily. They are not going to give up the notion that they define what America is, and they define America's future. They will not give that up easily. That means, however, to me, that it's just time to fight harder. I believe that some fights are worth having.
Yes.
They are worth having because they are about who we are, what we value, and what we are going to give to our children. So, I'm here today because I'm going to have that fight, and I need everybody in this room to fight right alongside me. So that's why I'm here.